After 50, nearly 7 in 10 women say their mornings feel heavier, slower to start, harder to focus, and filled with sugar cravings they can't explain. But what if the real fix isn't more caffeine but a single teaspoon of natural fat that your body instantly turns into clean brain fuel? Research shows it can boost focus by up to 25% and keep you full for hours, all without coffee or carbs. I'm Dr. Eliza Hart, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist with over 15 years of experience helping women navigate hormonal changes after midlife. If your mornings have started to feel heavier, slower to start, harder to think, and filled with those stubborn sugar cravings, you're not alone. When estrogen begins to decline, your brain's favorite fuel, glucose, becomes less efficient, leaving you tired before the day even begins. That's why so many women are turning to a gentler form of nourishment, the natural fats found in coconut oil. Unlike ordinary oils, it contains medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs, unique fats that travel straight to your liver and transform into clean, steady energy for your brain. 1 teaspoon can make a surprising difference in how alert, balanced, and satisfied you feel through the morning. Before we dive into how it works, take a moment to subscribe and comment your country below, so I can see how far our community of strong, curious women reaches. And please, help me reach our first 20,000 subscribers. Your support truly fuels this mission. Now let's explore what actually happens when you take that teaspoon each morning. 1. The MCT power. Why a teaspoon of coconut oil feeds your brain. If you've ever wondered why a single teaspoon of coconut oil can feel surprisingly energizing, the answer lies deep within how your body converts fuel. Most people believe only sugar or caffeine can wake up the mind, but the human brain is far more adaptable than that. Hidden inside coconut oil are special fats called medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs, and they behave nothing like the fats most of us grew up fearing. When you eat ordinary fats from butter, cheese, or meat, they take the long road through your digestive system, getting broken down slowly and stored for later use. Fats, on the other hand, travel straight from your intestines to the liver, skipping the storage stage entirely. Within minutes, the liver transforms them into ketones, tiny molecules that your brain immediately recognizes as fuel. Instead of waiting for a blood sugar spike, your neurons receive a clean, steady flow of energy that sharpens focus and steadies your mood. This is why many women who begin their day with coconut oil describe a calm alertness rather than the jittery lift that follows coffee. After menopause, this mechanism becomes even more meaningful as estrogen declines the brain's ability to use glucose drops, often leading to what many call morning fog. In that state, mental clarity feels like wading through water. But ketones bypass this hormonal slowdown. They slip through the blood-brain barrier and feed the neurons directly. For a woman in her 50s or 60s, this isn't just about quick energy. It's about restoring metabolic confidence to the brain itself. Research supports this shift. In clinical observations from 2023, women who consumed MCT showed measurable improvements in concentration and sustained attention compared to those relying on carbohydrates alone. The effect wasn't a sudden high, but a smooth, lasting focus that extended for hours. Many also reported fewer cravings mid-morning, a sign that their appetite hormones were beginning to stabilize. If you decide to try it, begin gently. Take 1 teaspoon of extra virgin coconut oil after a glass of warm water, then wait 15 to 20 minutes before breakfast. This gives your body time to convert those MCTs into ketones without overwhelming digestion. You may notice subtle warmth in your core or a quiet lift in your concentration. That's your body learning to run on a cleaner source of fuel. Over time, this small ritual can reshape how your mornings feel. It's not a stimulant or a shortcut. It's simply teaching your body to draw from its own natural intelligence. And when you start the day from that kind of balance, everything else, your focus, your cravings, your mood, begins to follow. 2. Fullness and craving control. How coconut oil balances your appetite. Once your brain begins to adjust to using MCTs for energy, something remarkable often follows. Your appetite changes. Many women notice that after just a few mornings of taking coconut oil, those mid-morning cravings for bread, sugar, or coffee start to quiet down. This isn't simply willpower, it's chemistry. When the body digests MCTs, it sends signals to the brain that influence two hormones, ghrelin, which triggers hunger, and peptide, YY, which tells you when you've had enough. Unlike refined carbohydrates that cause a quick rise and fall in blood sugar, leaving you hungry again within hours, MCTs keep these hunger signals calm and balanced. As a result, you feel gently full, not stuffed, and satisfied for much longer. From a metabolic perspective, this stability matters deeply for women after 50. With hormonal shifts and a natural decline in muscle mass, the body's ability to handle glucose efficiently slows down. Blood sugar spikes become more frequent, which not only leads to energy crashes, but also intensifies food cravings. By providing a steady alternative fuel, MCTs help flatten those peaks and valleys, supporting both weight balance and mental steadiness. Clinical studies echo this effect. Research from the European Journal of Nutrition found that adults who replaced part of their dietary fat with MCT oil experienced significantly reduced caloric intake later in the day, not because they were dieting, but because their bodies felt truly nourished. Another 2023 study observed a drop in body mass index and waist circumference among postmenopausal women who consumed MCT-rich oils with breakfast over 8 weeks. Their hunger hormones declined naturally, while energy levels throughout the morning improved. If you choose to incorporate this habit, consistency is key. Stir 1 teaspoon of coconut oil into your coffee or warm tea in the morning, allowing the heat to melt it evenly. Sip slowly and pay attention to how your body feels in the next few hours. You might find that you're not reaching for snacks out of habit, and that calm, grounded feeling is your metabolism settling into balance again. Small as it may seem, this daily ritual begins to retrain your body's relationship with food. Instead of chasing energy through sugar, you teach it to sustain itself through stability. That gentle fullness isn't just a sign of satiety, it's your hormones remembering their rhythm again. Over time, this quiet sense of balance can influence more than appetite. It can ease mood swings, reduce inflammation, and even help stabilize your sleep patterns as your hormones gradually find their new equilibrium. 3. Brain clarity and hormonal focus. How ketones reawaken the mind. As your body becomes more efficient at turning MCTs into energy, the most striking change often happens above the neck. That persistent morning fog that once made it hard to think clearly begins to lift. Many women describe it as finally feeling like themselves again, more centered, more alert, and emotionally lighter. This isn't just a psychological boost, it's the result of a very real biological shift inside the brain. When estrogen begins to decline after menopause, the brain loses one of its key allies for glucose metabolism. Neurons once fueled effortlessly by sugar suddenly find it harder to access energy. That's why mornings can feel heavy, unfocused, or even anxious for no obvious reason. But when MCTs from coconut oil are converted into ketones, they provide a direct, efficient alternative fuel source that bypasses this hormonal slowdown. The result is a steady supply of brain energy that doesn't depend on sugar or caffeine. This ketone-based energy has a stabilizing effect not only on focus, but also on mood. Studies from Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience highlight that ketones can improve cognitive performance and reduce neuroinflammation, two factors that strongly influence how alert and emotionally balanced we feel as we age. In simpler terms, it helps the mind wake up without the crash, allowing your thoughts to feel clear, structured, and alive again. Over time, this balance can ripple outward. Women who maintain stable morning energy often notice they make better food choices throughout the day, experience fewer mood swings, and regain a quiet sense of confidence in their focus. It's as though the brain, once starved for consistency, finally exhales. If you've ever noticed your thoughts scattering before noon, or that your motivation fades just as the day begins, try observing how your mental state feels in the days you use coconut oil versus those you don't. Sometimes the contrast alone can be powerful enough to see how deeply your metabolism and mind are connected. And I'd love to hear from you. Directly share in the comments below what time of day your mind feels the sharpest, or whether you've noticed changes in your focus since menopause. Your stories help other women recognize themselves in this journey, and they remind all of us that clear thinking after 50 isn't luck, it's biology we can nourish. When you take a few seconds to write your experience, you're not only supporting this channel, you're helping another woman somewhere in the world feel less alone in her own transition. That's the quiet power of community, and it starts with your voice. 4. Digestive and gut health support. How coconut oil heals from the inside out. For many women, the first visible changes after 50 appear not in the mirror but in digestion. Meals that once felt light now cause bloating discomfort or unpredictable reactions. What often goes unnoticed is that declining estrogen also affects the gut's motility, microbial balance, and the integrity of its lining. This is where the natural compounds inside coconut oil, particularly lauric acid, can offer unexpected support. Lauric acid is a medium-chain fatty acid that converts in the body into monolaurin, a substance with gentle antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral properties. Unlike harsh antibiotics, monolaurin doesn't wipe out the beneficial bacteria your gut depends on. It selectively disrupts harmful microbes that contribute to gas inflammation and digestive sluggishness. Over time, this helps the intestinal environment reset itself, something that modern diets and stress often disturb. Clinical research has begun to confirm what traditional medicine has long suggested. A 2022 review in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that coconut-derived monolaurin could inhibit common gut pathogens, such as Candida albicans and Helicobacter pylori, without damaging healthy flora. This means the gut can heal naturally while maintaining its immune defenses, a benefit especially valuable for postmenopausal women whose immune response tends to weaken with age. Beyond digestion, this microbial balance also affects how we feel emotionally. The gut and brain share a constant biochemical dialogue through the vagus nerve, what scientists now call the gut-brain axis. When digestion is calm, neurotransmitters such as serotonin and GABA rise, supporting relaxation and clarity. In contrast, inflammation or dysbiosis can trigger anxiety, fatigue, or irritability. By promoting a healthier gut, coconut oil quietly supports both physical and emotional equilibrium. If you wish to try this, begin gently and listen closely to your body's rhythm. A teaspoon mixed into warm herbal tea or oatmeal in the morning is often well tolerated and can ease bloating within a few days. For oral health, the traditional practice of oil pulling, gently swishing coconut oil in the mouth for 5 to 10 minutes before brushing, can further reduce bacterial load, support gum health, and freshen breath naturally. It's these small, consistent habits that rebuild internal balance. You're not forcing the body to perform, you're guiding it back to its natural pace. Over time, that comfort you feel in your stomach is more than good digestion. It's your body remembering how to restore peace from within. And when the gut begins to heal, many women notice another ripple effect: less joint stiffness, a calmer mood, and clearer skin, because a healthy digestive system quietly nurtures the entire body from the inside out. 5. Metabolic and hormonal balance, reigniting the body's natural rhythm. As women enter their 50s and beyond, metabolism no longer behaves the way it once did. Meals that used to maintain energy now lead to fatigue or weight gain around the midsection. These shifts aren't simply a matter of age, they reflect deeper hormonal changes that alter how the body burns fuel. When estrogen and progesterone decline, two key regulators of insulin sensitivity, the body tends to store more fat and convert less of what you eat into stable energy. But this is also the point where coconut oil rich in MCTs can play a corrective and restorative role. Medium-chain triglycerides stimulate a mild rise in metabolic rate by encouraging the body to convert fat into usable energy instead of storing it. In fact, a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who replaced long-chain fats with MCTs experienced an increase in daily energy expenditure by as much as 5%, the equivalent of roughly 120 extra calories burned each day without additional exercise. For postmenopausal women whose metabolism slows naturally, this gentle boost can make a tangible difference over time. Even more importantly, MCTs help regulate insulin and cortisol, two hormones that profoundly shape how we store fat. When blood sugar remains stable, the body produces less insulin, preventing sudden spikes that trigger hunger and fat storage. At the same time, balanced cortisol levels protect against stress-related cravings, that familiar urge for sweets during emotional fatigue. Coconut oil's steady energy release prevents those highs and lows, guiding the body back toward equilibrium. This stability does more than influence weight; it protects overall vitality. In women, fluctuating hormones can impact thyroid function and lead to chronic inflammation, both of which slow metabolism further. By supporting the liver, the central hub for hormone conversion, AETs in coconut oil encourage smoother hormonal communication across the body. Many women describe this as a quiet sense of internal alignment, steadier moods, fewer afternoon crashes, and a subtle lightness in the body that feels unmistakably different from dieting or deprivation. To begin noticing these changes, consistency matters more than intensity. A teaspoon in your morning tea or blended into warm water before breakfast is enough to signal your metabolism to shift gears. Over time, this daily rhythm teaches your body that energy can be steady, sustainable, and free of anxiety, because once the hormonal orchestra finds its balance again, the music of your day, energy, focus, and calm begins to play in harmony. 6. Cautions and individual differences. Listening to what your body tells you. No matter how natural or beneficial a remedy may seem, the most important step is learning how it behaves in your own body. Coconut oil, despite its many advantages, is still a concentrated fat, and like all nutrients, it must be used with respect and awareness. What nourishes one woman beautifully may be too rich for another, and understanding this difference is what turns wellness into wisdom. While the MCTs in coconut oil can raise good HDL cholesterol, they may also increase LDL levels in certain individuals, particularly those with a genetic tendency toward high cholesterol or heart disease. This doesn't mean the oil is harmful, but it does mean you should approach it with intention. If you already take statins, blood thinners, or medication for cardiovascular health, it's best to speak with your physician before adding it to your routine. The goal is harmony, not risk supporting your heart while strengthening your metabolism. Digestive sensitivity is another point to consider. Some women notice mild nausea or loose stools when they begin taking coconut oil on an empty stomach. This is simply the body's way of adjusting to a denser source of energy. The solution is easy: start small. Begin with 1 teaspoon a day taken after warm water or with a light breakfast, and give your system a week to adapt. As your digestive enzymes adjust, those sensations usually fade, leaving behind a comfortable, steady warmth instead of heaviness. It's also worth remembering that nutrition never happens in isolation. The benefits of coconut oil unfold most gracefully when paired with mindful habits, balanced meals, moderate movement, hydration, and rest. Think of it not as a cure-all, but as a supporting note in the symphony of daily care. When combined with these foundations, it becomes a subtle amplifier of well-being rather than a quick fix. Ultimately, the best results come not from perfection, but from consistency and curiosity. Track how your body responds over several weeks. Are your mornings steadier? Is your digestion calmer? Do your cravings shift? These quiet signals are your body's way of speaking to you. Listen closely, adjust gently, and let your own experience, not someone else's trend, be your best guide. Because the true wisdom of midlife health isn't about doing everything. It's about doing what works for you and doing it with kindness. And remember, your body's feedback is a conversation, not a verdict. The more patiently you listen to it, the more accurately it tells you what it needs. And that awareness is the beginning of real, lasting balance. 7. Suggested usage and safety guide, building a gentle morning routine. By now you understand that the magic of coconut oil lies not in quick results, but in consistency and respect for how your body adjusts over time. The goal isn't to overwhelm your metabolism with sudden change, it's to teach your system a new rhythm of nourishment. A small, mindful morning ritual is enough to activate the benefits without discomfort. In the first week, start with 1 teaspoon of extra virgin cold-pressed coconut oil each morning after a glass of warm water. Allow your body 15 to 20 minutes before breakfast to process it. This timing helps your liver convert MCTs into ketones more efficiently, supporting clear energy and appetite control throughout the day. Observe how your body reacts. Some women may feel a gentle warmth, others a subtle mental sharpness. Both are signs that your metabolism is beginning to adapt. As your body becomes more comfortable, gradually increase to about 1.5 teaspoons, blending it into coffee tea or a light smoothie. Avoid taking too much too soon. Moderation keeps digestion smooth and energy steady. If you tend to experience bloating or sensitivity, combining coconut oil with warm liquids instead of swallowing it directly often helps your stomach adjust with ease. Over the next few weeks, continue with 1 to 2 teaspoons daily, paying attention to subtle improvements in focus, fullness, and mood. This ritual works best when paired with good hydration, gentle morning movement, and nutrient-rich meals. Think of it as an anchor, a calm beginning that signals your body to burn energy cleanly and efficiently throughout the day. For safety, always choose extra virgin, unrefined coconut oil and store it away from direct sunlight to protect its natural compounds. Avoid heating it to high temperatures if you wish to maintain the integrity of its MCTs. And remember, if your body feels uneasy at any point, pause for a few days, drink plenty of water, and reintroduce it slowly. To deepen its effect, you can also pair this practice with mindful breathing or short stretches. These gentle actions enhance circulation and help your body absorb the oil's energy more smoothly. It's not about doing more, it's about doing it consciously. The calm you build in those first 10 minutes often sets the tone for the entire day. The goal isn't perfection or speed, it's awareness. By starting your day with intention, you invite your hormones, metabolism, and digestion to work in harmony again. In time, this quiet act of care becomes something greater than a habit. It becomes your daily conversation with balance itself. When we talk about aging gracefully, we often think of creams, supplements, or routines that promise to turn back time. But true renewal begins from within, in the quiet, consistent choices we make each day. 1 teaspoon of coconut oil in the morning may seem small, yet its impact reaches far beyond energy or appetite. It nurtures the very systems that define vitality after 50, the brain, the gut, and the hormones that keep them in rhythm. By supporting ketone production, MCTs help your brain stay clear and resilient, reducing that foggy heaviness many women describe in the morning. By calming the gut and stabilizing blood sugar, they restore digestive comfort and curb the cravings that drain confidence and mood. And by easing stress on the liver and balancing cortisol, they allow your hormones to find their natural rhythm again, not forced, but gently guided back into harmony. What matters most is not the oil itself, but the ritual. Taking a few mindful moments each morning reminds your body that nourishment can be simple, peaceful, and rooted in science, not urgency. With time, that single act becomes an anchor for focus, calm, and trust in your body's strength. So tomorrow morning, before the rush of the day begins, give yourself that moment of care. 1 teaspoon, 1 deep breath, 1 quiet promise to honor your body's wisdom. Thank you for joining me today. If this video resonated with you, please subscribe, comment your country below, and help me reach 20,000 subscribers so we can continue sharing knowledge that empowers women everywhere. Your engagement helps this community grow, and together we'll keep redefining what thriving after 50 truly looks like.